What's up? It's Street. Shut the fuck up. I get a lot of women that talk to me and ask me, do men dislike women and do men dislike feminists? I believe that men don't necessarily dislike women or dislike feminists, but we don't agree with their position when it comes to, their own beliefs about, their politics. Um, I'm a man's right advocator. Um, Probably would be a feminist advocator if it was done properly. And what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of the times women, they tend to care about only their emotional side of, their problems. And that can lead into hatred. That can lead into dislike for men, to be honest. I get a lot of black women that tell me that, black men don't even love them, which is not the case. It's more like, how could you approach somebody, or how would you, really feel comfortable about approaching somebody that, you know, seems very unapproachable and seems like they want nothing to do with you. So, and acts that way, much like a feminist. So, with the feminist energy, you know, they tend to talk about, the wage gap between men and women, which is just not true. I heard somebody say that it's been debunked numerous times. The fact that, they feel that, men have it, I'm assuming, much easier, which is not the case. I just feel like men and women are very much different. They fight for equality with men and women, and it's something that will never ever take place. And I'm not saying that to to be egotistical. I'm not saying that to demean women in any way. I'm just saying that we are different. We are not equal. We'll never be equal. For the simple fact that you have a vagina and I have a penis makes us different in nature. Should we all be respected? Of course. Should we you know respect women's opinions? Yeah, but we don't have to accept them, because at the end of the day, I had women talk to me about uh what we need to do, as men, but rarely do they talk about what they have to do as women. It's almost like, you know we still have to be quote unquote men, meaning, we would have to open car doors for you. We have to take you out on dates, spend money on you. We have to take our time and invest in you. And, what we get out of it is some pussy, to be honest. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. It's like women tend to have this issue with accountability and entitlement. They feel like they're entitled to so much. They feel like they deserve so much. And it's like, okay, if you feel like you deserve that, then what do we deserve? If you're going to say that the feminist movement is about equality of the sexes, then that just doesn't mean you. You understand what I'm trying to say? That doesn't mean just you. That doesn't mean because you have a hard time that nobody else has a hard time. That doesn't mean, I have to demasculate myself in order to fit your need as a quote unquote woman. When we realize that the reason why women don't have, great men in their lives is because women tend to make very poor choices when it comes to men. Not that men are, totally wrong, or that, they're not some men that do treat women wrong. It's just, you would rather date the college athlete that habitually offends women and habitually, degrades women, but that's who you aspire to be with. And then complain that there's no good men. But the same man that treats you with respect, is willing to put time and he cares about you, and they call it quote unquote thirsty, those guys will probably treat you with way more respect. But he's not good enough. So ultimately, what is the problem? The problem is women tend to be very, very picky, indecisive, don't really understand what they want or what they deserve. They want to be equal to something that they will never in a million years be equal to. And like, I'm a man, I will never be equal to a woman, no matter how much, I would like to be if I wanted to, and it's just that in itself. So when we talk about feminist movement, when they were talking about women's rights to vote, and things of that nature, that made a little bit more sense. But today, in the current age of, we're about to be in 2020, it's like, what are y'all goals? Where are y'all trying to go to, next? And when I hear a lot of feminists talk, they talk about their feelings so much that, their feelings become the end goal and not a solution. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if you are a girl and you're telling me I have to change myself in order to fit your needs, what is that telling me about you? That's telling me that you're not totally comfortable in your skin. That's telling me that you're not comfortable being you. The problem is you want to be me so bad that you want me to willingly accept, you understand, you being me. You wanting to do the things I do. I don't want to do anything that a woman does by nature, Like, why would I want, as a man, why would I want to be with a woman that can't cook, that can't clean, that doesn't really have interest in taking care of children, that, doesn't want to comfort me when I need it, but I have to comfort her. I have to comfort her. I have to be the ultimate scholar. I have to have a certain job. I have to dress a certain way. I have to be a type of person. And not just appreciating me for who I am. Men's rights aren't, isn't a reflection of feminism. It is what it states. It's men's rights. There's so many things that go under that umbrella that have nothing to do with women, but yet, what I'm saying, they will not agree on any points. So if you're gonna tell me that men have really serious health issues, that's a men's right. That's something that we as men need to be fighting for, and we should be fighting for. We shouldn't have to seek approval from you to fight for those things, or injustice in the criminal justice system. Some things that you will never have to face as a woman. They look at, the things that we go through as privilege. It's the same thing. It's like, how would you feel, if you were a man? Because they always want to talk about how they feel like they quote unquote harassed by men, trying to holler at them, or trying to, quote unquote, get in their pants in the street, or whatever, and that they shouldn't have to, dress a certain way not to get that type of attention, right? It doesn't warrant somebody coming up to you, thinking a certain way about you, right? You don't want to be judged for that. But this is exactly what you want to do. So point being, it's like, what if I was I was a regular civilian, but today I wanted to dress up like a cop, and it's not Halloween. And somebody came to me, running to me like, hey, there's a crime. My cousin have just been shot. And I'm like, hey, bro, like, I'm not a cop. Just because I'm dressed this way doesn't give you the right to assume that I'm a cop. It's kind of like that. If you're dressing in a provocative way, showing off all your body and not expecting anybody to say anything, that's madness. You know what I'm saying? That's madness. You're basically trying to convince people that because they don't know you, and you're dressing like a whore, we shouldn't assume you a whore. So why do you want to dress like that? You know, what is the need to dress like that? You know what I'm saying? If if I'm a black male and I'm not a thug, why would I want to dress like one? You know, why would I want to portray that image? You know, to give people that don't know me that assumption. You know, and that has a lot to do with entitlement. Women feel like they're entitled to things that they just don't, haven't put the work in, or just don't, quite frankly, deserve. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that, but it is what it is, because if you want to talk about the mental abuse of women and what they have to go through, it's a lot that women do to men, cheating on them, being deceitful, you know downright writing them off just because they are a certain way, or that maybe they wear glasses and they're not that cool, and they care about school and they're not into fashion or music, or they don't have 100,000 followers on Instagram. Like, that hurts too. That hurts too. It's just different. And that's basically what I was trying to get to. Men and women will never in a million years be equal, because we are different. We are very much different in totality. And to be honest, this is why I made this page. I'm going to talk about a whole lot of other issues, but it's like, sometimes women, it's okay to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to not try to be a man, or try to be equal. Like, why would you want to, lift thousands and hundreds of thousands of pounds and stay on your feet all day and all of these things? Why is that a necessity for you? Why would you want to even do that in the first place? It makes no sense. It's just going to build stress on you. It's just going to make you a lot more irritable. Women are not psychologically or physically prepared to deal with those type of things, just like men aren't prepared to sit down all day and type 100 pages a day and be patient. Some men are just not like that. Most men are just not like that. You know what I'm saying? There's very clear advantages for women, and I feel like there's very clear advantages for men, but I just don't really see them as advantages. I see them as, a structure that's already within us. I had another girl said, why do I have to set the table? I'm from a Mexican home, and in that culture, they make us set the table. They make us do a whole lot of things like that. And it's like, they said that when my brother could set the table, see, that's the thing. In your culture, they're trying to teach you how to be a woman. Much like when, a man says, be a man, stop crying, because a father knows that deep down inside, you wouldn't want your son crying over every little thing. It's okay to cry as a man, but you need to be very, very selective when you do it, because you are stronger than that. You are stronger, and strong enough to not lead with your emotions, And for women, it's a little bit more okay, because we understand that, you are very emotionally driven creatures, to be honest. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's okay too. And that's the thing I'm trying to say. That is, fine to be emotionally driven as a woman, And I just feel like maybe, just maybe, if we, be who we are, everything will be okay. Think about it. If a woman was cleaning and a woman was in the home and, taking care of the kids, and the man was going out and getting the food, he was going out, making the money, it will work as a union. It will work together perfectly like a key and a lock. But that's not the case. We live in a generation where everybody just wants to do whatever it is that they want to do. And sometimes people just have to admit that doing whatever you want to do is just not the right thing to do all the time. And in every single case and scenario. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, all in all, it's like you could do what you want at your own detriment. So if a woman doesn't want to be home taking care of her kids, don't want to even learn how to cook to take care of her kids or keep her husband fed, that's on her. The same way if a man wants to run out on his children and not be there for them and not provide for his family, that's shame on him as well, you know? But when they both are in their right minds, men and women, it works in perfect harmony. Shut the fuck up.